All right, guys, let's get started. So today, what I want to go through with you guys is the voicemail program. You know, how do we get a hold of leads? How do we get people to call us back? How do we position ourselves as the ones that they want to work with? And then we're going to jump into top broker training, which is our CRM tool, and that's going to be the system that you guys are going to use day in and day out. It's going to tie everything together for you. Okay. Couple housekeeping things again. Just like yesterday, let's keep the line open. Let's keep the conversations going. If you guys have questions, please speak up. I'm going to leave the line unmuted, but at the same time, just be mindful of that background noise. Sound fair?
Yes.
Perfect. Again, there's going to be a lot of verbal confirmations I'm going to look for, especially with this training. I'm going to pick on a lot of you. I'm going to ask you to participate. So. Looking at your screen here, you're going to notice that I have a voicemail script up. So I've been teaching this program now for the last 15 years. I've taught it in the auto industry, I've taught it in the insurance industry, and I've taught it in industries that have nothing to do with what we do. Okay, at the end of the day, the product that you sell doesn't matter. It's all designed to give the client on the other end of the phone the experience that they're looking for. Okay. So I always like to start off this training with asking, have any of you ever shopped for insurance online before, gone onto a website and become a lead in the insurance industry before?
Yes.
Who said yes?
Me, Nathan.
Nathan. All right, Nathan. Tell me what that experience was like.
It's kind of redundant because you end up getting a 1,001 reps calling you from different companies.
Yeah, exactly. So guys, there are two different types of leads in our industry. There are what are called shared leads and what are called exclusive leads. Okay, a shared lead is where you end up on a website, and that website ends up selling your information to maybe 5 or 6 other agencies. Okay, that's very attractive to a lot of agency owners like myself because the price is really cheap, right? I can buy a lot of shared leads because I'm sharing that cost with other agencies. Make sense? Well, the problem with that is you have the experience that Nathan had, right? Where there's a he always says 1,000 people calling him, right? That's the exaggeration part of it. It's not a pleasant experience for the client because their phone is blowing up, and it's not a pleasant experience for the agent because they're usually getting a hold of people that are upset. Okay? We primarily work with exclusive leads where that lead vendor only sells that lead to us. Okay, that's the arrangement that we have. I pay a much higher premium for those leads. But at the same time, it's a much better experience. The clients are happier, the agents are happier, everyone wins. Make sense?
Yes.
But having said that, that doesn't mean that we don't work our leads as if the competition is calling them, because we cannot promise, and nor can the lead vendors promise total exclusivity, right? Who's to say that client didn't end up on multiple websites and submit their information? So we are going to work every lead as if it is being called by the competition. Okay. Now I want you guys to understand something. Nathan, when you were getting a bunch of phone calls from all over the country from these different agents, did you answer every single phone call?
For quite a few of them, but most of them, no.
Okay. What do people do when their phone blows up?
Tend to ignore it.
They ignore it, right? They don't answer. I want you guys to remember that. Okay? When people don't answer your call initially, it's not necessarily because they're not interested. It's probably just because they're overwhelmed. Okay? And that's a mistake that a lot of people make in our industry is they assume somebody not answering after 3 or 4 phone calls means that person is not interested and they give up on that lead. Okay? The average agent in our industry, and I know this because I talk to the lead vendors and I shop our competition. I am constantly putting myself out there as a lead just to see what the competition is doing. Our competition is going to call for 3 to 4 attempts over about a 5-day period. Okay? Guys, we're not going to make that mistake. We follow up with these leads. We make 12 phone calls over a 3-week period. And that's the program I'm about to teach you. We give every single lead 12 opportunities to answer our call before we then move on to different leads. Okay? Does that make sense? These people reached out to us, so we want to make sure that we give them the fair opportunity to work with you. Okay? It's the only way you can judge success. If you work every lead the same, you know where the success rates are. And it's because of that it's no surprise that the majority of our sales come after that 5th day. The highest answer rate that we get in the majority of our applications written happen after the lead's already 5 days old, right? On our 8th to 12th attempt. That's when people are answering because we're consistent, we're persistent, and we're the voice that continues on. After the competition has given up, we're the one that's still there. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yes.
The other part that you have to understand is that these people don't know who you are, and they're basing their opinion of you off of that 15-second voicemail that you leave, right? Our voicemails are our audition to get these people to call us back. Okay, when Nathan was a shared lead, when he shopped for health insurance, he probably got a voicemail box full of different messages from different people. I can promise he probably didn't call every single one of them back, but the ones he did call back, he based it off of the quality of their voicemail, right? Again, that is our audition to get these people to call us back, so we need to sound different. We need to stand out. And that's really easy to do when you realize that everyone is programmed from birth to leave the same voicemail pattern. We do it with our friends, we do it with our families, we do it with our clients, right? We're all programmed to leave the same pattern. It sounds something like, here's my name, here's why I'm calling, call me back at this number. Would you guys agree with that?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it's Mike with Healthcare Solutions. I'm calling in regards to your health insurance request. Give me a call back at such and such. Okay? All voicemails pretty much sound the same. It's that general pattern. So we got to mix it up. So what you're going to see is that there's one golden rule of our voicemail program. And that one and only golden rule is that it is never your client's job to ever call you back. It should never be your client's job to have to pick up the phone and take control of the follow-up. Okay? Don't put the follow-up in their hands because you know 9 out of 10 times they're not going to do it. So why would you build your business that way? You are always going to take control and set the expectation of when the next phone call is going to happen. Okay? And just that slight little tweak that you taking control in the voicemail is going to be enough to separate you from everybody else. You're going to stand out and you're going to give them the experience that they're looking for. Okay, so as we run through these voicemails real quick, you're going to see that theme repeated over and over. Okay, sound good?
Yes.
All right, perfect.
Yes.
So if you guys notice here on your screen, the script says day 1, new lead call number 1, new lead call number 2, and new lead call number 3. Okay, guys, we're going to reach out to a brand new lead 3 times within the first 24 hours. Okay? Because in some cases, first of the table wins, right? The first agent that gets a hold of them is the one that gets the sale. So we want to make sure our hat's in the ring on that. This is when the lead is the hottest. This person just requested the information, so we want to be the most aggressive when they just requested our help. Okay? And I say in the first 24 hours, not in the first day, because if you take a lead at 6 o'clock at night, I don't expect you to call that person 3 times yet that evening. So you're going to have to be a little flexible. You might have to push a couple calls into the next day. But you want to hit them 3 times within the first 24 hours. Okay? And then also in parentheses next to the name of the call, I show you the different types of communication we're going to hit them with. So call number 1, when you first reach out to them, if they don't answer, you're going to leave a voicemail, you're going to send an email, and you're going to send a text message to them. Okay? Now, the email and the text message are going to be handled by Top Broker. It's going to be handled by your CRM tool. So all you got to do is click a button and it'll send them. But the voicemail is up to you to leave. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. So let's just jump right into this. So day number one, the lead comes in. You want to call that person as quickly as you can, right? We want to try to catch them while they're still in front of their computer. All right. So you're going to pick up the phone. You're going to call them. And if they don't answer, I want you to try something. We started doing this about a year ago. It's increased our answer rate by about 30%. It's called the double dial. Anybody have any idea what I'm talking about? You know what the double dial is? I promise that somebody's done it to you. You ever get a phone call from an unfamiliar number, and you're like, I don't know who that is. Swipe ignore. All of a sudden, that same number calls you right back.
Right.
Right? People have done it, right? And what goes through your head? Why is this number calling me back? What's going on? Is there an emergency? Are my kids okay? Is my house on fire, right? People will answer. Okay? Again, it's increased our answer rate by about 30% by hanging up and calling right back. All right? And if anyone gives you a hard time as to, hey, why did you call me back to back like that? And I think we've had one person in the last year say it. All you have to do is come back and say, you know what? Health insurance is a really important topic. And I wanted to make sure I got a hold of you in case you needed this plan to start tomorrow. Okay, and that's the truth, isn't it? So try the double dial. It will increase the amount of people that answer. So just in case that doesn't happen, right, it goes to voicemail again. This is the message I want you to leave. Hey Jim, it's Mike LEB. I'm the district manager here for Healthcare Solutions, and I handle all the major health insurance companies in the whatever area, right? Personalize it to where this lead lives. Plus, I'm a certified enroller of the Affordable Care Act. You know, if you're looking for that as well. I just had a couple real quick questions here before I send these plans over to you. I'll try to give you a call later today. However, if you'd like to speak to me before then, you know, feel free to give me a call at such and such. I look forward to talking to you soon. Okay, so pretty easy. You know, nothing too complicated. Here's who I am. Here's why I'm calling. I'm going to try you later today. Otherwise, you can always reach me at this number. All right. Then you're going to wait about 2 hours, and you're going to try again. Okay? But this time, you'll notice there is no voicemail. There is no email. There is no text. Call number 2 is an attempt only. If it goes to voicemail, just hang up. It is simply an attempt to see if they would answer the phone. Okay? Then you're going to wait another 2 or 3 hours, whatever your day allows for, and you're going to try them for the third time. Hey Jim, it's Mike here with Healthcare Solutions. You know, just attempting to reach you again today about that request you had made to my office. I'll try you again tomorrow around, how about we say 10 a.m. However, if that time doesn't work for you, or if you'd like to speak to me before then, you know, feel free to give me a call at such and such. I look forward to talking to you soon. All right? So that way, guys, if they come home at night and they listen to their voicemail, they're going to hear 2 messages from you. One saying, here's who I am, here's why I'm calling, I'll try you later today. And another one verifying that you tried later today, and now you're going to try tomorrow, say around 10 o'clock. Make sense? Any questions?
No.
Well, pretty simple, right?
No.
All right. So now we scroll down here. We get to day number 2. What time am I going to call
10.
Whatever time I told them I'm going to call them, right? If you don't call when you tell them you're going to call, the whole system falls apart. You might as well leave the same generic, ineffective voicemails as everybody else. Okay, so I told this person I'm going to call them around 10, so I'm going to try to call them as close to 10 o'clock as I can. Hey Jim, it's Mike here with Healthcare Solutions. I promised I'd give you a call today around 10. Feel free to give me a call back at such and such. Otherwise, I'll reach out to you again later today. Thanks, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Okay? Then you're going to wait about, 3-4 hours. Again, whatever your day allows for. You're going to try now for the 5th time. Hey Jim, it's Mike here with Healthcare Solutions. Just attempting to reach you again today about that health insurance situation. I'll try to give you a call tomorrow around, how about we shoot for 6:30 this time. I'll look forward to talking to you then. Okay? Guys, pick a completely different time of the day. Right? I see agents make the mistake of always doing their phone calls, their follow-up phone calls at the same time each and every day. We don't know what these people's schedules are. If they didn't answer today at 10 o'clock, what makes you think they're going to answer tomorrow at 10 o'clock, right? Maybe they're working. Maybe that's when they take a yoga class. We don't know. We have to hit them at drastically different points throughout the day to give us the best opportunity for them to answer the phone. So my rule is never before 8 a.m. their time or after 8 p.m. their time. Okay, but everything in between is fair game. We get a hold of a lot of people at 8 a.m. and we get a hold of a lot of people at 8 p.m. So try them drastically throughout the day. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right, good. All right. So come down now to day number 3. Hey, Jim. It's Mike here with Healthcare Solutions. I promised I'd give you a call today around 6:30. Say I'm the district manager here, and I handle all the health insurance companies in the Phoenix area. Plus, I'm a certified enroller of the Affordable Care Act. Again, if you're looking for that as well. I'll reach out to you again on, how about we shoot for Thursday this time around noon. However, if that time doesn't work for you, or if you want to speak to me before then, give me a call at such and such. I'll talk to you then. Okay, so what you guys are doing here, by picking a date that's a few days into the future, it's very subtle, but it's going to mean a lot to the people that pick up on it. What you're saying is, hey, I get it. You're busy. I'm busy, right? I'm not a call center. I'm going to give you a couple days before I call you back again. Because at this point, if they're being called by your competition, what's going through their head is, oh my God, what did I do? I put my information online. I'm going to get phone calls 100 times a day for the rest of my life. Am I going to have to change my number? When are these phone calls going to stop? But by you saying, hey, I'm not going to call you again until a couple days in the future, they're going to pick up on that. Hey, you're not a just some telemarketer, right? You're an actual organized professional, and it'll resonate with them. Does that make sense? All right. Now we're going to get to day number 5, guys, and here's where you're going to see a large increase in the amount of people that call you back or that answer your calls. Okay, and there's a couple reasons for it, and I already gave you one. What do you think they are? Nate, what do you think is one of them?
The fact that you're giving them a couple days between each call.
Okay, part of it. What did I tell you guys would happen around the 5th day? What's your competition doing?
Oh, they're no longer calling the customer.
Yeah, your competition's given up by this time, right? The call centers, the lazy brokers out there, right? They're working the lead for 3-4 days. By day number 5, the phones are starting to really quiet down. Okay, and I know this is the case because, again, guys, I'm constantly shopping. I see the stats. I know what happens, right? So when the phones quiet down, people are more likely to start answering, okay? But probably the biggest reason why we get so many more people answering now is that if you've done a really good job up to that point with these voicemails of setting the expectation, being friendly, sounding professional, calling when you say you're going to call, that person can't help but put you on a pedestal. They're going to say, you know what? When Neil says he's going to do something, he does it. He told me he'd call at 10, he called at 10. He told me he'd call at 6:30, he called at 6:30. He's organized, he's professional. That's the type of person I want to work with. All these other yahoos, all these other people are telling me to call them back. I don't want to do the follow-up, right? These people don't want to take control of the follow-up. They want somebody to take control of their situation, take them by the hand, and just get this taken care of for them. Does that make sense? So you're showing them that experience simply by taking control. It's that whole doctor-patient example that I always like to use, right? You go to the doctor because you want the doctor to tell you what's gonna happen. These people have reached out online because they want you, the licensed broker, to tell them how this is going to work. Make sense? All right. So, new lead call number 7. Hey Jim, promised I'd call you today around noon. It's Mike here with Healthcare Solutions. I'm just calling in regards to your health insurance situation. I want to answer all your questions. I want to let you know what's out there. I'm a plan specialist for all the major companies here in the state, both on and off of the exchange. You seem just as busy as I am, so I'll try you back in a couple days. How about we shoot for, I don't know, how about we shoot for Saturday at 2 o'clock this time? I'll make a note to call you then. Thanks. Guys, if somewhere in your follow-up you can work in a Saturday with every lead, you're going to have so much more success. Saturdays are phenomenal days in our business. People are just more likely to answer the phone on a Saturday than any other day of the week. Okay? They might not always have all the time in the world to talk to you, but at least you'll get an appointment for later on in the week when they will be available. Okay? So if you can fit Saturdays in here, a Saturday morning, a Saturday afternoon, you're going to get a hold of a lot more people, and you're gonna sell a lot more insurance. Okay. Now we get to day number 8, and here we're going to flip the script a little bit. The 8th attempt is going to be an attempt only. All right. We're still going to call them when we told them we're going to call, because we always call when we say we're going to call. But this time, if they don't answer, I want you to hang up the phone. And the reason why we do that is what we found is that with some people, if you do such a good job of taking control and setting expectations on the follow-up, you can actually lull them into a sense of no urgency, right? They say, "Oh, it's just Neil calling again. He'll set up another appointment for us to talk. I don't need to answer." Okay? By hanging up and not leaving a voicemail with those people, those types of people, it'll rattle them. Because again, at this point, you're pretty much the only one still calling. So now the constant follow-up that they've been banking on just didn't leave a message. Are they going to call me back? Are they giving up on me? Right? You'll rattle those people into calling you back. Okay? But in case that doesn't work, right, you're still going to try again later that day. And that's going to be the 9th attempt. Hey Jim, it's Mike here with Healthcare Solutions. See, I know shopping for health insurance can be a real burden on a person, so I'm really just here to help in any way that I can. How about I try you again on Tuesday around, let's go for 9 a.m. Let's get together for 5-10 minutes on the phone. I can go over your situation. I can let you know what's out there. As always, if you want to talk to me before then, just give me a ring at such and such. Thanks, Jim. I hope to hear from you soon. All right. Then again, our 10th attempt is going to be a hang-up again. Our 11th attempt will be another hang-up. No voicemails, no emails, no texts, just attempts to see if they're going to answer. And then we're going to get to our 15th, our day 15th, 12th, and final call. And guys, if there's any voicemail you want to get really good at leaving, it's this one. Right? This is by far our most effective voicemail. It's the one we get the most callbacks on. We get the most emails and text messages back as well. If you've done a good job of positioning yourself, when you get to this point, you will get these people to if nothing else, reply to you out of guilt. Okay, this is the classic breakup call. It's the I'm giving up on you call. Okay? Hey Jim, it's Mike here with Healthcare Solutions. I get the feeling something may have changed to make health insurance a little less important. If that's what happened here, no problem. My intentions are to help, but at the same time, I don't want to be a pain. So that being said, I'm planning to officially close your file. If I got this completely wrong, and Jim, it wouldn't be the first time, now is the time to let me know. My number is such and such. Thanks, and I hope to hear from you soon. Okay? Guys, people get busy. Human nature is we get distracted very easily. When these people first sent in the inquiry, health insurance was the most important thing to them, right? That's what drove them to the computer to fill out that form. But then life happens, right? There's work functions, there's family functions. Things pop up that distract us, and health insurance got pushed to the back burner. Hopefully getting a message like this saying, "Hey, I know I'm the only one still calling you, and now I'm giving up on you," is enough to reignite that desire to say, "I just need to get this taken care of," and they'll call you back. And you'll hear every excuse in the book as to why they haven't been returning your calls and all that good stuff, but who cares, right? At the end of the day, you're just trying to get a two-way communication going, and that's what this will do. Okay? Guys, that's it. That's the 12-call program. It's not rocket science, it's just positioning. It's about taking control and giving that lead the experience that they're looking for. Okay? Couple quick things here before we move on. Number one, it's no surprise that the top agents within our organization, right, the ones that are making the strong six-figure incomes, are also the ones that realize that your voicemails are a skill, not just a task. Okay? It's not simply enough just to say the words. You have to own them, right? You have to make it your own. You have to practice them, right? We're all from different parts of the country. We all have different ways of speaking, our own slang, and that needs to come out in your voicemail. It needs to sound natural. I don't care how good of an actor you are. If you're looking at something while you're saying it, it's going to sound like you're reading it. So you have to practice these things, guys. The best way I found to practice is to simply call yourself and leave yourself the voicemail, right? Then listen and say, hey, would I call me back? How did I sound? So many times we think we sound so great in our head, but then when you actually listen to yourself, you realize that you're slurring your words. You're talking too fast. You're mumbling, right? Whatever it is. So much of our personality gets lost over the telephone lines, right? So if you watch my wife Sarah or any of our other agents, right, that are leaving some of these voicemails, they almost look like vaudeville actors, right? Their hands are moving. They're very animated because they know that personality needs to come across the phone, right? You guys have heard that old cheesy cliche, you can hear a smile over the phone, right? Well, people still say it because it's true. Okay, so remember that. Practice these. The better you are at leaving these messages, the more people will call you back. The more people that call you back, the more product you'll be able to sell. The more product you sell, the more money you're going to make, right? Prospecting is simply a numbers game. Sales is a skill, but prospecting is a numbers game. This is going to help you with that conversion. Okay? The second thing I'm going to touch on this is that I see new agents and old agents do this, right? There's going to be days where it just seems like nobody's going to answer the phone, right? I can't explain why, but there are days where it's just people don't pick up the phone. And you might end up leaving 40, 50 voicemails. And what happens is you end up getting into a rut and you start rushing through them because it's the 40th voicemail you've left today, so you just start rushing right through them. Okay, just to get it over and get on to the next one. And what you need to remember, guys, is that while it's the 40th voicemail you've left today, it's the only one that lead has received. And if they listen to it and you sound rushed and uninterested, you just blew any chance of them wanting to work with you. Treat every voicemail as if it's the only one you're going to leave that day because it's the only one that client is going to receive. Does that make sense? Anybody have any questions?
No.
All right, cool. So that's the voicemail program. Becky will email these scripts over to you, but they also appear in Top Broker, and I'll show you where you can find them in there. So now let's jump into the fun stuff. Let's jump into Top Broker, which is going to be your main tool. Okay? Top Broker is where you're going to start grabbing all of your leads. It's where you're going to control your customers. It's where you're going to log your sales. It is a web-based tool. So any place you have access to the internet, you'll be able to get to your clients. You'll be able to get to all of your information. And that includes your cell phones. I look at Top Broker on my smartphone all day long. Okay? So as long as you have access to the internet, you're in business. The website address is topbrokercrm.com. If you go to topbroker.com, it's not going to work. You have to have that little CRM in there. And then it's going to take you to your login screen here. Okay? So Becky will create all of your accounts, right? If she hasn't already, she usually sends out an email to you asking for certain bits of information to get your account created. If you don't reply to her email and get her that information, she's not going to create your account. So make sure you guys jump on that. All right? I'm going to pick on Tamala. Tamala, you out there? Is that okay?
Yes.
All right, good. So here I am logged into Tamila's account, and I know I'm logged in as Tamila because I see her smiling face in the upper right-hand corner. All right. This is Top Broker, guys. It's set up like a filing system. So over on the left-hand side here, you have a whole bunch of options in this gray menu tree. This is how we navigate around the system. Okay. The dashboard, which is highlighted in blue, right? This is your home page. You're pretty much going to live off of this screen. Okay. So let me just give you a quick Nichols tour here of what you're looking at. So this big box here that says Tamila's Tasks, right? This box right here, that's where all of your phone calls are going to appear. All the call number 1s, call number 3s, call number 7s, right, that we just learned about in the voicemail program, or any appointments that you schedule, or any manual phone calls that you schedule, are all going to appear in this big box. They're going to be listed out in chronological order based on the time that they're supposed to be made, that you asked to be made, tell you who the lead is and where they're from, and what the purpose of that phone call is. Is it a call number 1? Is it a call number 12? Okay. This box right here that says upcoming meetings, this is where you're going to see any trainings, any additional meetings, trainings, webinars, things of that nature that we are doing as a team here. I do a lot of additional trainings. We have a lot of carrier reps that come and visit us here and do specific trainings just for our team. We have a couple next week, so you're going to see those pop up here, Tamila, pretty soon. So with that, you'll be able to click on the link, join right into the meeting. Okay? Here where it says to-do list, guys, think of this like an electronic yellow sticky note. For any of you that consider yourself old school, right, that like to scribble down things on pieces of paper, notes, as reminders to do for you to do things later on, you could do those electronically here if you wish. So some of my agents love this feature. They use it all day long. Others never touch it. So it's a personal preference thing. But if you want to use it, all you have to do is hit Create New Task, type yourself your note, pick up milk, right, whatever, hit Create, and that's going to sit there forever. Okay, it'll always be there until Tamila comes over here and just simply hits this check mark. When she hits that check mark, the note's going to disappear. It's as if she crumpled up that yellow sticky note and threw it away. Okay? It's not tied to any leads. The only person that sees it is you. It's just simply a reminder section for yourself. Okay? This box here that says today's new leads, this is going to be a snapshot of all the new leads that you started working with for the first time today. Whether you grabbed the lead or maybe myself or your leader sent the lead to you. It's just a reference as to how many brand new people did you start working with today. It's going to tell you the time the lead came in, what that lead's current status is, and who that lead is. Okay? All of the phone calls that are tied to these leads, right, the 3 phone calls that happen in day 1, those are still going to appear up here in the big box. So you're still going to live out of this box, but this is sometimes nice just to reference, hey, look, I started working with 7 new people today. I've already sold 2 of them. 3 I'm still trying to get a hold of, and 2 I've marked dead because they said take me off your list. Okay? This box here that says today's activity for my team, I'm going to skip over for right now, but we're going to come back to this once there's a little bit more data in the system. So first and foremost, guys, any internet leads that you start working with are just going to automatically appear in here, right? You're not going to have to enter their names, their addresses, their phone numbers. All that information will just pop up in front of you. However, any organically generated leads like referrals, friends, family, things of that nature that you want to work with, you're going to have to manually put into the system. So what I want to do right now is go ahead and manually create a lead so that we have one to play around with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here, and underneath the dashboard is a section called My Leads. If I click on that, it gives me 5 additional options, the top of which is Create Lead. So I'm going to hit Create Lead, and it's going to take me to the Create Lead screen. And here I just simply enter in as much information as I have about this lead. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create somebody called Neil Test. Sorry, does somebody have a question? Okay. Neil, are you out there? Neil, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, perfect. Neil, I'm going to say you live here in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin with me. Zip code is 54935. Do you have a cell phone on you, Neil? Neil, do you have a cell phone number I can use? All right, I think we lost Neil here. I don't know if he's on mute or not. Nathan, how about you? Can you give me a cell phone?
Yeah. It's 816
816
835
835
7942.
7942. Okay. Guys, see what happened there when I put in Nathan's cell phone number? It says checking for duplicates. Hey, wait a minute. This lead already exists. So what it's going to do is it's going to search through the hundreds of thousands of leads that I have within our top broker account here to see if there's a matching lead that's using that same phone number or email address. It'll do it on the email address as well. Okay? Doesn't happen very often because you guys are spread out so far around the country, right? But when it does, it's good to know. And not only is it going to tell you if there's a duplicate, it's going to tell you who has the lead. So if you click on this lead number, I'm just going to do that. It's going to tell you, hey, wait a minute, this lead doesn't belong to you. It currently belongs to Becky Nitschke, who is my assistant, right? You guys have all met Becky. So I knew that was going to happen because she creates leads on all of you, right? So if you know who that agent is, reach out to them, figure out what's going on, right? If you don't know who the agent is, reach out to us. We can look into it. Most of the time, all it is that person that you're trying to enter in as a referral or whatever might have been an internet lead for somebody like 5-6 years ago, but their information is still in the system. Okay? So when I put in the email address, it's going to do the exact same thing. But when it doesn't find a duplicate, it's going to give you a green success. Okay? Then we come down to the source list. And all of your accounts are going to have referral as the only option. All right? You all control your own source list. I want you guys to understand that if you get leads from particular sources, you control what shows up in this dropdown. So if you want to add anything to this dropdown, all you have to do is come back up to My Leads and click on Lead Sources and create it there. Once you create it there, it will be available in this dropdown. So an appropriate thing to maybe add in there. Let's just say you get all your referrals, or you get a bunch of referrals from your local State Farm agent. Right? Bob Smith at State Farm says he wants nothing to do with health insurance, and he'd just rather send it to you, right? Which, guys, is very, very common, right? Talk to your P&C agents, Medicare agents, life insurance agents. You know, people that do what we do but don't want to sell what we sell. Those are great sources for referrals. But you're going to want to come in here and create them as a source. I would create Bob Smith from State Farm. That way, anytime I get a referral from him, I can track that. And I can run reports and say, show me every referral I've ever gotten from Bob Smith at State Farm. Just gives you more flexibility. Okay? All right, then when you got that all set, you're going to come down here. You're going to hit Create Lead. And I want you to notice what it does in the upper right-hand corner. You see this little black box that just popped up? It says New Lead. You have a new lead, Neil Test. All right? I call that the whisper window. What that's going to do is no matter what you're working on, no matter what you're looking at in the system, when a new lead hits your account for the first time, that's going to pop up in front of you as a reminder to say, hey, wrap up what you're doing, jump back to the dashboard, you got a brand new lead to call. Okay, so let's do that. I'm going to jump back to the dashboard here, and sure enough, here it is. It's telling Tamala here that on March 28th at 1:43 p.m., she needs to call Neil Test from Wisconsin, and the purpose of that call is new lead call number 1, which gets a voicemail, an email, and a text message. And what you guys will notice is that matches up perfectly, if I open up the voicemail script again, matches up perfectly with your voicemail script. Okay? You're going to see two different colors of calls within this box. You're going to see some calls that are red and some calls that are black. What do you think a red call means?
Urgent.
Urgent? Why urgent?
Because it's new and it's red.
Okay? Red means overdue, guys. Okay? Red means urgent. This call should have already happened. Okay? So anytime a call is overdue, it's going to appear in red. If the call is scheduled for some time in the future, like maybe this call was scheduled for 4 o'clock this afternoon, it would be in black. But at 4 o'clock, it's going to turn red. Okay? So we highlight the calls that are overdue. So you'll hear me and Becky and the rest of the district partners always say, hey guys, let's keep the red off the dashboard, right? In essence, what we're saying is let's keep caught up with our phone calls. Okay, make sense? All right, so when you want to make this call, when it's time to actually make this call, all you have to do is click on the lead anywhere on this line. Doesn't matter where you click, it's all going to take you to the same place. It's going to take you right into Neil Test's lead. Okay, and I know I'm in Neil's lead because I see his name up here at the top. It says Neil Test, and it shows me his lead ID number. All right, I also picked up a whole nother set of tabs here that all pertain to Neil Test. All right, so let's just run through these real quick. Lead info, this is going to give you all of Neil's contact information, right? His name, his address, phone numbers, email addresses, right? You can add multiple phone numbers, multiple emails. If you need to change anything, just click in the box, make the changes. Okay, just make sure you hit update to save. But I want you to notice what it shows you next to the zip code. It's telling you that the current local time where Neil lives is 12:46 p.m. because he lives in Central Standard Time, right? Tamala, what time is it by you right now?
It is 1:46.
1:46, so you're an hour ahead, right?
Yes.
Do you think Neil cares that it's 1:46 by you?
No.
Absolutely not, right? He only cares that it's 12:46 where he lives.
Yes.
So everywhere I can, guys, I try to remind you of what time it is where the lead lives. For those of you that are going to be calling across time zones, right? And that's a really good thing to do because it can give you that many more hours in the day to work. There's strategy behind that. But you need to be conscious. You need to understand what time it is where they live so that you don't call too early or call too late, right? Or tell them you're going to call at 1 o'clock and then you set it for 1 o'clock your time and you call an hour too early, right? So I try to remind you of their time zone in multiple locations. All right. The app info tab, this is going to show you all of their demographics, right? Date of birth, age, gender, height, weight, tobacco user, right? Guys, I don't trust anything on this screen unless I hear it directly from the client's mouth, right? I want them to verify all this information. Seldom on the actual lead that we get does it include the full picture, right? A lot of times there's a spouse missing or there's dependents missing, right? So verify all this information from them, okay? But if you find out that Neil has a spouse named Mary, right? Enter it into the system. Get it in here right away. Because if you save it, look what it's going to do. It's going to add the spouse's name to the top of the list or top of the lead, okay? And this lead now becomes searchable by the name Mary. So if I looked up all the Marys that are in the system, this lead would now show up. Okay? Same thing with dependents. Dates of birth, guys. If you find out what their date of birth is, get it in here. Even if you don't know if you're going to sell them yet or not, get it in here. Because what the system will do for you is it's going to alert you of people turning a certain age. It's going to alert you of people turning a key age. So for an applicant or a spouse, what might be a key age that you'd want to know about?
If they're under 65?
Yeah, turning 65, right? What happens when they turn 65?
They're ineligible for our products.
Correct. But they're aging on to Medicare, right? Which, guys, we also
Right.
sell. We also sell Medicare. Wouldn't it be nice Wouldn't it be nice to be notified that, hey, you have somebody that's about to turn 65 in the next 4 to 5 months? What about dependents? What would be a key age you'd want to know about on dependents?
Is it 26 and under?
26,
Maybe.
right? What happens
Right.
at 26?
They come off their parents' health insurance.
Exactly. Very good. If they're on their parents' insurance, they're about to get kicked off at age 26. So you might get a notification from a lead you talked to 4 years ago, right? Maybe didn't even sell them insurance. You just had the lead. And now you're getting a notification that one of the dependents listed on that lead is about to turn 26. So you can reach out to them and see if they'd like you to work any quotes, right? Mine your own system, your own database for leads before they go back online and become a lead for somebody else. Your data is the most valuable asset you have, but it's only as good as the information that you put in. Okay, so capture that stuff. You'll find sales that way. All right, action history tab. Look at this like two separate windows. The top half here is going to deal with everything that you currently have scheduled for this lead, for Neil and Mary Test. All right, so right now the only thing we have scheduled for them is a new lead call number 1, which we said we needed to do around 1:43 p.m. Okay, the bottom half here under completed actions is going to show you your whole history with this lead. It's going to show you every note, every email, every text message, right? Every phone call, everything you've ever done with this lead will be listed out in chronological order, giving you a complete history of your interaction with Neil and Mary Test. Right now it's empty because you haven't done anything yet. Okay. The quote sheets tab I'm going to skip over for right now, but we're going to come back to this. This is where we go to put together our custom proposals to email over to our clients, right? After you figured out what types of products you want to present to them, we put it all together in a nice, clean looking, simple presentation to send over to them to help them make a buying decision. The sales tab, this is going to show you everything you've ever sold them. Okay, guys, we need to log every one of our sales. You always log every policy you sell a person into Top Broker for several reasons. Number one, you want to keep track of it, right? You want to be able to look up Neil and Mary Test and see everything you've ever sold them with all the different insurance carriers. Number two, it helps with our commission tracking so that I can make sure that you guys are getting paid on time. If I don't know that you sold it in here, I don't know what to be looking out for. So that's a big part of you making sure that you get paid on time. And number three, there are bonuses tied to the amount of apps that you submit. Okay, within our agency here, if you submit 7 applications in a week, 7 policies, which might be to just 2 different clients, right? But 7 policies is going to net you a $100 bonus each and every week, and 10 policies is going to net you a $200 bonus each and every week just for submitting those applications. Okay, and if you don't log your sales, you're missing out on those bonuses, and I don't think anybody wants to do that. Okay, but it's going to show you here your effective date, your end date, the policy number, all that good stuff. The Files tab, this allows you to upload and store any documents that you want that are pertinent to Neil and Mary Test. So rather than storing them in folders on your desktop, right, you want to upload them here under the lead. And you do that for 2 reasons. Number one, you want a nice central, easy way to look up anything that pertains to Neil and Mary Test. So rather than searching through folders on your desktop, all you got to do to find anything with Neil and Mary is just look up their lead. And then the second reason is if it's in Top Broker, that means all of your documents now become portable with you. You don't need to be in front of your computer to see these documents, to see anything that has to do with Neil and Mary. You can access them from your smartphone. Maybe you're out on vacation, you're at a hotel or wherever, you need to access a document. You do not need to be in front of your computer to do it. Okay, you can do it on your phone. Then the Logins tab. This was created to give you the ability to keep track of usernames and passwords for your client. Some agents like to keep track of that information because their clients always forget what their username and password is for this or that. Okay, so rather than storing that in the notes, we've just created a tab for you to accomplish that. Okay, any questions, guys, on any of these tabs?
No.
All right, cool. All right, so now we need to make this phone call, right? We clicked on his lead. We need to call Neil because the clock is ticking. The competition might be calling. So what you're going to do is you're going to come down here. You're going to find the phone number. If you guys use Skype or Google Voice, we have click to dial built in here. Okay, if you don't use either of those two as your phone system, no big deal. Just pick up the phone and dial the number, right? And then if you remember nothing else from what I've taught you today or what I'm going to teach you today, please remember this. It is the most important part of all of Top Broker. After everything you do, you need to come over here and hit this blue and yellow next action button. You guys all see that? That is the most powerful button in all of Top Broker. This is how we tell the system, here's what I just did, and here's what I want to do next. Okay? So you're going to dial the number, then you're going to come over here, you're going to hit next action. And a little window is going to pop up. And it's basically saying, all right, Tamala, what happened? What's the lead's new status? Okay, did they answer? Did they not answer? What happened? So you have 5 options. Uncontacted simply means, nope, they didn't answer, right? All I did was leave the voicemail. Let's continue to put it through that 12 call process. All right, we're going to continue to work this lead through the 12 call program to try to get a hold of them. Contacted says, hey, wait a minute, they answered. I spoke to this person. I've had a 2-way communication now. So I'm going to take it off of the 12 call program because that's no longer relevant. And I'm going to schedule nothing but appointments from here on out based on what happened in our conversation. Right? You're going to manually take control of the follow-up. Sale, log a new sale. That's here because, hey, congratulations, you sold them. Now we need to log what we sold them. Bad phone number is here because as good a job as these lead vendors do at scrubbing against disconnected numbers or, hey, that person doesn't live here anymore type stuff, it's still going to happen. Okay? And the last thing you want to have is Top Broker to ask you to call a lead 12 times when you know the phone number is disconnected. All right? So this is a set it and forget it feature. All you're going to have to do is come in here, hit bad phone number, and the system will never ask you to call this lead again. All right? But on your behalf, in the background, over the next year, it's going to trickle out emails to the email address that's on file. Okay? And we get a ton of people that respond to our bad number or bad phone number emails. Because as you guys probably would imagine, people will give a bogus phone number when they fill out something online, but they'll give a good email address because they're hoping that we'll just email them quotes, right? So we get a ton of people that respond to it. Again, this is a set it and forget it. The system will take care of all that automation for you. Now, the lead will still be in your account. If that person calls you up out of the blue in the next 6 months or something like that, you'll still be able to look up their lead and work with them. It's just there won't be any active follow-up there. And then dead is here, not because they're physically dead, but because they're dead to you. Okay? You're saying no more follow-up, right? No emails, no text messages, no phone calls. They said, take me off your list. They were already purchased, not interested. For whatever reason, you're saying no more follow-up. Okay? I'm going to challenge you guys to not use the dead status too much. If somebody says, take me off your list, that's a dead status. Okay? But if somebody just simply hangs up on you, don't dead them out. Okay, guys, you will get hung up on. It's inevitable. We all do. The best of us do. Okay? If somebody simply hangs up on you, don't dead them out. Remember before we talked about how people don't answer the phone when they're overwhelmed? Right? They're getting a bunch of phone calls, they just won't answer. Well, some people deal with that by just picking up and hanging up on you. Because they figure, you know what? If I answer and I hang up on you, you're going to get the message, you'll never call me back. Right? And that's what your competition does. They just won't call back. Guys, give them a couple days to cool off and then call them back. We sell so much insurance to people that have hung up on us before because we're the only ones that follow up. Okay? If somebody tells you don't call them, that's a different story. But if all they do is hang up, give them a couple days, call them back. You'll have a lot of success. Does that make sense? Okay. So in this scenario, I'm just going to say that it's an uncontacted lead. And when I hit next, what you're going to notice is that it even shows me my voicemail script right here. Remember I told you that the voicemail script would also be in the system? So what most of my agents will do is they'll use this right here to read their script. Rather than printing off those scripts next to their computer, they'll read it right here on the screen. So here's how that process would look. Let's see if you guys can follow me here. So you come in here, you dial the phone, right? As it's ringing, you hit next action. It's ringing, it's ringing. If the client picks up, you just simply close out of that window and talk to them. Fill out that gathering worksheet, right? But if it's ringing, it goes to voicemail. As soon as it goes to voicemail, you just hit next. And by the time it goes beep, you got your script right there in front of you. And it's even pre-populated with the client's name, with your phone number, right? All that information. Guys, does that make sense? Does anybody need me to go through that again? Everybody good? Okay. All right. So then you're going to come down here and you're going to leave a note. So under notes, I just put LM for left message, whatever. The notes are there for you as long as you understand what they mean. That's all that matters, right? So we're completing new lead call number 1, which gets a voicemail that we just left. The email and the text are handled right here. Okay, send text message, send email message. It's already pre-populated with the templates. You don't have to touch anything. This is the template that goes with call number 1. This is the template that goes with email template that goes with call number 1. Okay, just leave those alone. Then you come down to scheduling the next action. Because we said this was an uncontacted lead, naturally after call number 1 comes call number 2, right? And we're going to suggest that you make that call today at around 4:15 p.m., which is roughly 2 hours from now. But don't forget, that's going to be 3:15 where the lead lives. Do you guys see that? All right. Guys, this is merely a suggestion. Okay, you are in complete control of your follow-up. It's going to suggest the calls based on our best practices. But maybe Tamala says, you know what, I don't want to call at 4:15. I already have some appointments. I want to call at 5 o'clock. All you have to do is just change the time to when you want to make the call. Okay? Reminding you again that if I call at 5 o'clock, that's 4 o'clock where the lead lives. Okay? When I hit submit, now it takes me right back to the dashboard where I have one phone call left to make today, and that is a 5 o'clock call with Neil Test in Wisconsin. And the purpose of that call is new lead call number 2, and that'll be an attempt only. Okay? You're also going to notice that this call is now in black. It's not in red. It's black because it's not 5 o'clock yet. Okay? Guys, any questions?
No.
All right, perfect. Nathan, did you by any chance just get a text message?
Check.
Okay.
Nope.
Nothing yet?
Nope.
All right, let me know when it pops in. I know the vendor was having an issue this morning. Just let me know when that text message pops in, okay?
All right.
All right.
Wait.
Cool.
Yep.
You just get it?
Yep.
All right, cool. What's it say?
It says, "Hi Neil, trying to reach you regarding your health insurance request. How can I help Tamala?"
There you go. That's the new lead call number 1 text message template. Can you read off the phone number that it came from?
229-999-4824.
Tamala, do you recognize that phone number?
No. I know the 229 is my area
You
code.
recognize that area code though, right?
Yes.
That is your unique text messaging number in Top Broker. Every text that you send from Top Broker is going to come from that number. You do not need to know that number. You do not need to memorize it, advertise it, anything like that. Just know that if Nathan were to call that number back, right, like somebody might naturally do, call the phone number that sent them the text message, it's going to automatically forward that call to your office phone, to whatever number you have set up in Top Broker as your phone number. It'll ring that number. Okay?
Okay.
You all will have your own unique text messaging numbers through the system. And we have to do that because I can't hack into Sprint and Verizon and all your cell phone providers and send the message from there. So we give you your own cell phone number, in essence. Okay? Nathan, do me a favor and reply to that text message once.
Okay.
Let me know when you send it.
Okay, sent.
Okay, you guys see what just popped up at the top of her screen? I mean, instantly, right up here in yellow. It says, notice you have one unread text message. Click here to view. Guys, all of your notifications are going to appear at the top of your screen in yellow. Okay, so just train your eyes to always be watching up here, okay? But when you see that, you should get excited. You're like, all right, one of my leads just responded. They just connected with me. So I'm going to click on here to view, and sure enough, I have a new unread text from Neil Test. So when I click on the word new, here it is. In green is what you sent them, and blue was their response. And right here, guys, you can now start a text messaging conversation with your client.
That's pretty cool.
Okay? Guys, you're going to be amazed at how many conversations and how many policy sales start this way. Right? It's just simply how people want to communicate these days. Right? Especially if they're under the age of 40. Embrace it. You can call people 100 times, they'll never pick up the phone, but you can send them a text message and you'll have a response within 5 seconds. Right? So this is going to be a big deal for you. All right? Couple warnings though. Don't forget that you're sending a text message and not an email. Because it's so easy to just click in this box and start typing away, you can get a little long-winded, right? You got to remember, it's coming across on their cell phone as a text message. And nothing is worse than getting a text that comes in 4 or 5 different waves, right? We've all had that. So just try to keep your messages short and sweet to the point. And at the end of the day, you're just trying to get a phone conversation going because it is difficult to sell a policy over text messaging alone. So you still want to try to get them on the phone. Okay? Tamala, there's your text messaging number, that 229-999-4824. So there's your number. Okay? You're going to get text messages from people. Guys. Did you have a question?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No.
So you guys are going to get text messages from people, and you're going to be like, who the heck is Neil Test? I don't recognize that name at all. Well, right next to the name is a big View Lead button. If you click on that, it's going to take you right into Neil and Mary Test's lead. You can look at the Action History tab, and here's everything you've ever done with them. Okay, there's the email that went out before. Click on it, you can read the email. So there's the template number 1 email. Okay, what we found is that people are more likely to hold on to your text messages than anything else. So especially during open enrollment, right? A couple of years ago during open enrollment, I think we sent out maybe 200,000-300,000 text messages. All right, when obviously not everybody responded to us. But then last year, just before open enrollment, out of the blue, we started getting people responding to those text messages that they had received a year prior. They were holding on to our texts and just simply responding when they were ready. Okay, so it is a very powerful tool. All right, I'm going to jump back to the dashboard. And any questions on the text messaging aspect of this?
No.
Everybody good? Okay. So, all right, now let's pretend like it is 5 o'clock, and we need to now make this call. So, Nathan, I'm going to pick on you. I hope that's okay. I want you to walk me through how to complete this new lead call number 2.
Okay, complete. Hold on. You would click on the lead, and then then you would fill out this information, the info information, and then go through all the other things, and then hit next action.
All right, so you pick up the phone, you dial the number, you hit next action, right? It's ringing, it goes to voicemail. What do I do?
The drop-down box. And then you put contact. Well, no, you wouldn't put contact, did you?
Nope. We leave it as uncontacted because we haven't had a two-way communication yet.
You leave it as uncontacted and hit next.
Okay.
And then put your notes saying left message.
Did you leave a message though?
No.
How come?
Because it's the call to, and you don't leave a message.
Very good. I was setting you up there. Very good. Right, guys, call 2 is an attempt only. As soon as the voicemail picks up, just hang up. You're done. No voicemail, no email, no text message. Do not, guys, leave voicemails with every single phone call. I know that sounds funny to say, but there is a purpose. There is a rhyme and reason for why we do things the way we do. Okay? It's all about positioning. Okay? So don't feel like you have to leave a voicemail every time. Just follow the instructions. Trust me, it works. Okay, so call number 2 is an attempt only. So Nathan, you just hang up the phone. Then you come here like you said. We'll leave a note. I'll just put NA for no answer. Then what do?
I guess you can select to send a text message if you want.
Nope.
Oh.
Follow the instructions. No text, no email. Don't have to do any of that stuff. Call number 2 is the attempt only calls. Call number 8, call number 10, 11, right? Those are the easy ones to make. You can pound through those pretty quick because if they don't answer, you can hang up.
You hit submit.
Okay, but before you hit submit, right, make sure that this date and time is for when you want to make it. Okay, so right now it's going to schedule us call number 3 for today at 5:15 p.m. If that works for you, perfect. Just hit submit. If you want to change it, change it. Make sure that you're scheduling the calls for when you're actually able to make it. What I don't want to have you see is a bunch of phone calls get scheduled for 5:30 and you know you're quitting at 5. Why would you schedule a call for a time you're not gonna make it? Does it make sense? So just pay attention to what time it's going to be scheduled for. So I'm just going to say I'm going to try at 7 o'clock tonight. Okay, which is 6 o'clock when the lead lives. Hopefully, maybe I'm going to try them at, after they might get home from their 9 to 5 job. Okay, and then I hit submit, and I'm done. Takes me back here. I now have a 7 o'clock call to make to do new lead call number 3. All right, very good, Nathan. Tamala, your turn. I'm going to pick up.
Okay.
Okay. I want you to do the same thing. I want you to walk me through how to do that, but this time I want you to actually read me the voicemail. Leave me the voicemail. Okay?
Okay.
So what's the first thing I do?
I hit the lead.
Very good.
I go down and hit the phone number.
Okay, there you go. So it's ringing. It's ringing. What do you do?
Next action.
Very good. All right. Voicemail picks up.
Okay. And I leave the voicemail. I hit the drop-down box.
Yep. You just hit next, right? Because it was already defaulted to uncontacted. All right, so the
Yes.
voicemail goes beep.
Okay. Hi, Neil. This is Tamala with Healthcare Solutions. Just attempting to reach you again today about that request you made to my office. I will try you again tomorrow around 5 p.m. However, if that time doesn't work for you or if you would like to speak to me before then, feel free to give me a call at 229-630-5929. I look forward to talking to you soon.
All right, very good. Very good. Now
Okay.
what?
Okay. So I left the voicemail, and then my next step would be, oh, okay, I took notes. I would go down to schedule next action,
Very good.
and I would do that was, okay, number 4,
Yep.
and do the voicemail and email. So I would do an email.
Well, it's already doing that up here. This is
Okay,
essentially
yeah,
call number 4 will be a voicemail and email. Call
right,
number 3 is also a voicemail and an email, and that call number 3 email is being handled right here. So you're fine. You
right.
don't have to touch anything.
Okay, so I changed the date because it's tomorrow.
Okay.
Then I said 5 p.m. and I changed the time
So like
and I
that.
hit submit.
Just like that.
No, I guess I'll change it to 6 because it needs to be 5 their
Very
time.
good. I was setting you up, Tamala. Very good. Very good. So
Okay,
because this is a different time zone, right? You got to be conscious
right.
as to what you're doing. It takes some getting used to. It's just
Yes,
creating those good habits, and that's why I try to make it a big deal here during this training, is to get you
right.
guys to watch for those things. The two things I see most common with new people using this is that they get very good at leaving the voicemails and saying, hey, I'll call it 10, I'll call it 5, I'll call it 4, whatever. But then they forget to actually schedule it for when they said they were going to call them. And if you don't do that, you'll never remember, and then the whole system falls apart. Right? So create those habits in the beginning, right? Repetition, mother of all learning. So just create those good habits, and also make sure that you're looking at the client's time zone, because that client heard 5 o'clock, not 6 o'clock, right? Very good. Now we can hit submit, and it'll take you back. One thing I want to point out here too, because we haven't touched on it yet. See this big open white spot here on the right hand side? This is going to show you guys your entire calendar, every phone call and appointment that you have scheduled on whatever day you have in this next action date. So because we have the 29th selected here, it's showing you Tamala's calendar for the 29th. Right now she has nothing. It's telling her her schedule is wide open. But if she had, 30 phone calls, they'd all be listed out there already. So you can actually, as you're saying, hey, I'll try you tomorrow around, I don't know, you literally are looking at your calendar for openings on when to call this person. Make sense? It's helping you stay organized.
So I take it this top broker takes place of lead master.
That is correct.
You use it more.
Yep. It's completely integrated with LeadMaster. So it'll log your sales there. You'll get all the leads and all that kind of stuff. Think of this as LeadMaster on steroids. So you guys won't need to really use LeadMaster for anything. Okay. All right. So then we hit submit. Takes us back to our dashboard, and now we have no more phone calls to make today. Right? So that means we can grab some more leads, or we can quit for the day. Right? That's your choice. If I want to see the phone calls I have scheduled for the future, I can click on tasks due through and look at tomorrow. So I look at the 29th. There's that call number 4, which will be scheduled for 6 p.m. tomorrow with Neil Test. Okay, makes sense. Anybody have any questions on that?
Nope.
All right, cool. Now, let's say Neil calls you up and says, you know what, hey, I can't talk today, but can you give me a call Saturday around 1 o'clock? Right? You say, well, of course I can. You hang up the phone. Now, what do you want to do in the system? You guys want to schedule an appointment, right?
Right.
All right. How do you think I would do that?
You click on Neil Test's name and then put the date and time.
Very good, Edward. Very good. So there's a couple different ways to find Neil's lead. If it's slapping you across the face, right, just click on it, like it is down here. Most of the time, that probably won't be the case, though. So there's two different ways to search for a lead in Top Broker. The first way is to come over to My Leads and click on Search Leads, right? Common sense. I click on that. It takes me into the Search Lead screen, where I now have a whole bunch of different ways to search through all the leads in my system. This is all the search criteria that you can filter by. All right. More common than not, what you're going to do, though, is skip that and go to the shortcut. The shortcut is up here in the left-hand corner that says Keyword Search. That is on every single screen of Top Broker. It will always be up there in the upper left-hand corner. So all you have to do is come into this box and type something that pertains to that lead you're trying to look up. I could type in the word Neil. I could type in the word test. I could type in the word Mary because I said Neil's wife's name is Mary, right? Put in the phone number. We use this a lot for a reverse phone number lookup. You get somebody that calls you, they don't leave a message. You just search by that phone number and see which one of your leads just tried calling you back. Right? So I'm just going to type in the word Neil, hit enter, and it's going to pull up every lead in Tamala's system that has the word Neil in it. So we only have one right now. It's Neil and Mary Test. So I get into that lead, okay, and now I want to schedule the appointment. So who wants to take a stab at what button I'm supposed to hit?
Next action.
Next action, the magic button, right? The most powerful button in the whole system. So I hit next action, and Tamala, what should I do here?
Oh, sorry. Would you hit the drop down box?
Yep, you do.
And contacted?
Very good. Guys, I want to move it to contacted and make all my follow-up manual from here on out because we don't need the 12-call program anymore. We're going to take it off of that because we've now established a two-way communication. So very good. I'm going to hit next. Now what?
Would you type notes?
Absolutely. So I'm just going to put in here, Neil called okay. So again, guys, remember the notes are there for you. It's a reminder as to why you're making this appointment. What is the phone call about, right? You're not going to try to remember everything. So I'm going to put the notes in here.
All right.
And now you're going to come down to scheduling the next action. Because you changed it to contacted, it's already assuming that you're trying to schedule an appointment. And now it's just a matter of picking the date and time. So I'm going to pick Saturday the 31st, and I'm going to schedule it for 2 p.m., right? Because that's going to be 1 o'clock where the lead lives. Again, keeping in mind that time zone or that time difference, right? And now you guys have picked up two options that you didn't have before. First is we have the ability to color code our appointments. Okay, so if you wanted to, you could come up with a whole color coding system for your different appointments. It becomes really valuable if you have an assistant, you have other people that are working your calendar for you. My wife and her assistant have meanings behind every single one of these colors. There's a certain unspoken language that they know that lime appointments mean something and pink appointments mean something else, right? I have no clue what they mean, and nor do I want to. As long as they know, that's all that matters. Just don't ever tell me you need more color options, like they continue to tell me, right? That's why you see things like lemon lime and blue raspberry in here. I'm simply running out of colors to program in. But let's just say this is a blue raspberry appointment, whatever the heck that means, okay? The most important part, though, is this little checkbox. Okay, if I check this box, what it's telling the system to do is 72 hours prior to this appointment, automatically send an email to my client and remind them of our appointment on Saturday at 1 o'clock. Okay, so the system is going to generate an email to go out automatically to your client saying, hey, this is a reminder of your appointment with Tamala on Saturday at 1 o'clock to go over plan options, all that kind of stuff. And within the body of that email, right, is going to be a big button that says confirm appointment. And if your client clicks on that button from their email, it's going to send a message right back into Top Broker, and that will show up as a confirmed appointment on your dashboard. Okay? If your appointment is within that 72-hour window, right? Maybe the appointment is tomorrow, but you still want to send that email reminder, it's just going to go out automatically. It's going to go out right away. Okay? Guys, this is really, really helpful for those appointments that you schedule out far in the future, right? You talk to somebody, they say, hey, I'm not really ready right now, but can you call me in a couple months? Things like that. Go ahead, set that appointment out there and get that reminder email in front of them. Make sense? All right, I'm going to hit submit. It's going to take me back to the lead. And I can see here under the next action box, my next action with this lead is an appointment on March 31st. I can click on the word reschedule, and I can change anything I want to change. Change the date, the time, the color, the notes, whether or not I want to send that 72-hour reminder email or not. Okay. If I jump back to the dashboard and I want to see that appointment, what it looks like on my dashboard, I can go forward to the 31st, and there it is in bold, so it stands out amongst all the other phone calls you have. You can also see your appointments on your calendar, which is on the left-hand side here. If I click on that, it gives me a My Calendar option, shows you the month view. You can change that to weekly or daily, and here's where you see things color-coded. So there's blue raspberry. So on the 31st, I have a blue raspberry appointment for 2 o'clock with Neil Test. If I hover my mouse over that, it even shows me the note that I put in when I created that appointment. Okay, if I click on it, it's going to take you right back into the lead where you can pick up the phone and give the guy a call. Okay, any questions on that, guys?
Yeah, well, if you have, say, like if you have an appointment scheduled and you forget that you have it scheduled, the system will automatically won't let you reschedule something over that time, correct?
No, it will allow you to double book appointments. We do allow you to double book appointments because, especially during open enrollment, there's some strategy behind that. All right, when you get really busy, it's not the worst idea to double book. Like my wife Sarah, who has appointments every 15 minutes from like 9 in the morning till 7 o'clock at night, she'll double book appointments knowing that not everybody's always going to answer, so she stays busy. And then she gets ahead of schedule, behind schedule a little bit. It's just when you get super busy, there is some value to doing that. So we don't block that out, but we are always showing you your calendar so that if you don't want to double book, it should be right in front of you that you don't. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
All right. So Neil has a question. Does the calendar integrate with Gmail or Outlook calendars? Yes, Neil, it does. So if you look at your calendar up at the top, there are syncing instructions right here. So click here for calendar sync instructions. We can sync to Outlook, to Gmail, to the iCal, the Apple calendars. So yes, that's all in there. Just know that it's going to push everything you have in Top Broker to your Outlook calendar. It won't take your Outlook calendar stuff and push it into Top Broker. Okay, so it's a one-way integration. All right. So jumping back into Neil Test, I want to show you guys now the quote sheets. So if we come up here under the tab that says quote sheets, This is where, again, you're going to put together custom proposals to email over to your clients. Okay? What I need you guys to all understand is that this is not where you're going to go to come up with the pricing of these plans. It's not integrated with any of the carriers. You're still going to need to go to all the individual carrier websites to come up with the quotes, the prices, all that kind of stuff. So before you come here, you need to already know what types of plans you want to send over to this person and what the pricing is. Does that make sense? This is nothing more than a piece of artwork, a presentation to organize all the different products from the different carriers into packages to make them nice, clean, colorful, so that the customer can make a buying decision. It's simplifying the quote for them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here to Quote Sheets, and I'm going to click on Create New 2.0. But before I do that, you guys see this little What's This button? That is a link to a YouTube video that's going to go through exactly what I'm about to show you. So if you want a refresher, you want to get some more tips on that, all you have to do is click What's This. All right, so I'm going to hit Create New 2.0. And the first thing it's going to ask me is, who are we preparing these plans for? By default, it's going to insert the lead's name, but I want you guys to personalize this. If you know that there's more than one person being quoted, personalize it. Maybe you want to change it to the Test family, or Neil and Mary Test, or whoever's on there, right? It seems like a little thing, but guys, trust me, it goes a long way. When people are looking at your quotes, they pick up on the little things like that. Okay? I'm going to hit Next Step, and it takes us to our list of packages. So like we talked about yesterday in the training, right? We don't just sell products. We don't just sell plans. We sell packages. We get to pick the best parts of all these different carriers, put them together into a package that is better than they can get anywhere else. Okay? It's all about bundling. That's how you make a great career in our industry and have the happiest clients, because they're getting protected from all the different angles. So right now, what it's asking you to do is to create a package. So we're going to come over here and we're going to create a package from scratch. Okay, so I'm going to hit Submit, and it's going to ask me, okay, what do we want in package number 1? Here's a list of all the different products that we sell. Okay, so I'm going to say that package number 1 is going to be a National General short-term plan. Remember, we learned about those yesterday. A Nat Gen short-term 3x4 option. And I'm going to say that the price on that is $356.25. Okay, again, I'm making up these prices. And I'm going to hit Save Changes. And I'm going to say along with that Nat Gen short-term plan is going to be a United Health Protector Guard Primary Preferred, which is a fixed benefit plan. Right? We like to pair those fixed benefit plans along with everything. I'm going to say the price on that is $125. And then, along with it, I'm going to sell a, let's just say where are you? Nat Gen dental plan for $20. Okay? So there we go. We got our 3 different products on there. That's enough for me for package number 1. I'm going to hit Save Changes and Exit. So here we go. Package number 1 is a dental, short-term, and United Health Protector Guard plan. But I'm not going to just give them one option. I'm going to give them a couple different options. So I'm going to create another package. Maybe this time I'm going to compare it against a major medical plan. So I'm going to pick ACA on exchange. We're going to say this plan is $600 a month. And alongside that, I'm going to pick let's do a Manhattan Life Fixed Benefit plan for $150 a month. And a Pram prescription plan for $45 a month. Save Changes and Exit. Now I have 2 different options. Guys, there is no limit to the amount of packages that you can have. and there's no limit to the amount of products that you can have in each package. My suggestion, right, don't have more than 3 packages. If you start getting into the 4, 5, 6 range, it's too much information, and your clients are having a tough time making a decision because they have too many options. Right? It's paralysis by analysis, right? We try to keep it simple. 2 to 3 packages at most. Make sense? All right, so package number 1, all these products is a total of $501.25. Package 2, $795. And you guys see these little red X's? When you see that, that means that you have unanswered questions that are regarding this package. Nowhere yet has it asked us what's the deductible, co-insurance, co-pays, any of that kind of stuff yet. So you need to answer those questions. So we're going to click on the red X, and here are, for package 1, the questions we need to answer. So for the NatGen short-term plan, what's its effective date? I'm going to say it's effective tomorrow. And it has a $2,500 deductible, 100% co-insurance, $2,500 out of pocket, 12 months of coverage. The United Health fixed benefit plan is going to start tomorrow, and the dental plan would start tomorrow. Okay, when I'm done, I hit submit answers. Now I have a green check mark. Package 1 is ready to go. Do the same thing for package 2. Just say 5,000, 820. Original price was $1,598. It is a Blue Cross Blue Shield Bronze plan, and it is effective April 1st. We're using an HMO network, and the Manhattan Life starts tomorrow. Submit answers. Now that I have all green check marks, I can continue on. It's going to give me the ability to send this quote sheet. These options weren't there before. So I'm going to hit send quote sheet, and it's going to take me to my generic send email screen. So it's already inserted the client's email address. It's giving me a generic email subject line, which again, I want you guys to customize, personalize it. And then here is the actual quote sheet. So guys, we don't do our quote sheets as email attachments. They're not PDFs, they're not Word documents. Everything is a URL link. We do that for 2 very specific reasons that I'm going to touch on here in a little bit. But before you send it, I always recommend you take a look at it. So let's click on here and preview this quote. This is what the client is going to see. Nice. Say plans prepared for the test family. There's their phone number. There's Tamala's smiling face, all her information, right? And here's option number 1 and option number 2. Option 1 is a NatGen short-term plan, right? Here's some highlights on that plan. They can click here to search the Aetna network to see if their doctor is in network. These quote sheets are highly interactive. They can click here to get a brochure. So here's that NatGen brochure. Okay. With this plan, you're also going to get a United Health Protector Guard. And here's a little spiel on fixed benefit plans. Click here for more info. Here's some specifics on that plan. Again, the brochure and the network search. Same thing with the dental. Okay, laid out, colorful, side by side, giving the client an easy decision to make. Right? It's just, do I want to go with option 1 or option 2? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So this all looks good, right? Ready to send over to the client. I can close out of here, come back down. Here's your generic email. Again, guys, personalize it, right? Put things from your conversation in there. People pick up on that. Just whatever you do, don't change this part right here where it says click this link for your quote, because when you hit send, it's going to insert that link into this merge field right here. And if that's deleted, if that's not there, it doesn't know where to insert that link. Okay. Before I told you there are 2 very specific reasons why we do this as a hyperlink instead of as a PDF attachment. Here's one of them. We're going to not only email this link, this quote to them, but we're going to text it to them as well. So if I check this box, I'm saying, please send this as a text and as an email to my client. Because we all know most people check their emails on their smartphones anyway. And we also know that there's so many spam filters out there that sometimes emails don't make it through. Well, we're hedging our bets here. We know that text message is going to get through. Okay? When I'm done, I'm going to hit send quote sheet. It's going to take me back into the lead, and we're all set to go. Okay? Now, Nathan, did you just get that via a text message?
Yep.
All right. You want to tell us what it says?
Yeah, it says, here are the quotes I promised, and then it has a link.
All right, go ahead and click on that link for me.
And then it brings me to Top Broker CRM, and then has the screen that you just put up with the two quotes, option 1 and option 2.
Looks just like it did on the screen, right?
Right.
All right. You can click on those hyperlinks. You can see the brochures. You can check the Aetna network searches, right? Everything is very interactive, very user-friendly. Okay? Guys, here's the second reason why we do this as a link. So Tamala's coming in here. She's getting ready to call Neil Test. She comes back to the quote sheets tab. She wants to preview. She wants to relook at what she sent them. So here's the history of that quote you sent. If I click on preview, it's showing it to me. She's getting ready and she goes, oh shoot, I made a mistake. All right? This plan is supposed to be $995, not $795. I made a mistake, right? It happens. Now, if this was a PDF, if this was an email attachment, as soon as Tamala hits send, it was gone. She'll never get it back. The client has the incorrect information in front of them. But because this is a link, all Tamala has to do is come back in here and modify this quote. So she clicks on modify, comes into the plan she wants to change. I'm going to hit edit next to this one. Oh, I put 600. It was supposed to be 800. Right? Just make the change that you want to make. Save it. Go back to send quote sheet. We don't need to resend it. We're all good there. So we have a button here that says skip email and return to lead. And now if I go back in here and preview it, it now says 995. Right? Nathan, what does it say on your phone?
It now shows 995.
Your client is always looking at the most recent version of that quote. Okay? It's so interactive. In fact, we have agents that like to go and send the quote to the client while they have them on the phone doing the one-call close and saying, here, take a look at this. What do you guys think? Right? And maybe the client says, you know what, I like option number 1, but can we remove the dental? I don't need dental, right? Hold on 1 second. They go in, they remove the dental, the price updates. Here, refresh your screen. How's that look? How cool is that, right? Very, very interactive. Okay. Let me get back in here. One last thing I want to touch on. Maybe you guys notice these little select plan buttons at the bottom. You guys see this? Those were created so that your clients, before you even call them for your appointment, can have the ability to notify you that they're ready to buy. So what the client could do is come over here and say, you know what, I really like option number 1. They hit select plan. It's going to take them to a screen where they can fill out their information to get started. It's just your basic contact information, your demographics. Okay, so they come in here under applicant. I'm going to put in that my legal name is Neil Test. I was born January 1st, 1980. Right, I'm male, 5'7", 150 pounds, and non-tobacco user. Okay. They verify all this information for you. They come down, they hit submit, and they're going to get a message here that says, thank you, your information has been submitted to the agent. They will reach out to you shortly. So Tamala, because Tamala is the agent, just got an email to her email address, to her MyHST email address, letting her know that Neil Test just filled out that application. She's also going to get a notification on her dashboard right here that a new application was started. When she clicks on that and comes in here, she can view that application and see everything that the client filled out. Okay, what it does two things. It's a trigger to you as the agent that this person is ready to buy. So you better get on the phone and call them up. And the second thing is that it's a closure for the client that they are mentally committing to something. Okay, they are mentally committing to buy something from you. Guys, it's not integrated with the carriers. It's not actually submitting anything with the carriers for an application. You still need to manually do that, but it's a mentally committing to you as the agent and notifying you. You better get on the phone and give them a call because they are ready to buy. It just happened last week. One of my agents had sent out some quotes, right? Maybe 5-6 weeks ago. Sent out some quotes to a customer. The customer never responded. We never connected, right? The agent deaded the lead out, gave up on him. All of a sudden last week, out of the blue, he gets a notification that the client clicked on the start application button. He called her up right then and there, sold her 4 policies. All because the client held on to that quote and just triggered it when she was ready. And the agent jumped on it right away, called them right up and said, hey, let's just get this taken care of. Pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
All right. So that's quote sheets. All right, guys, we're getting close to wrapping this up here, so bear with me. I'm going to dismiss that notification. You guys want to see how we grab some leads? So over here on the left-hand side, we have something called the lead marketplace. All right, guys, this is where you're going to go to grab leads. So I'm going to come to the lead marketplace. And the first thing I want you to notice is over here on the right-hand side where it says state filters. So again, we're logged in as Tamala here. These are all the states that Tamala is activated to buy leads in within Top Broker. And the way she gets activated with these states is that she sends her license to Becky, my assistant. When Becky gets your active non-resident license, she adds it to your list here. Okay, so Tamala, if you're missing states, all you have to do is just send those licenses to Becky. Because all these states are checked off, you're telling Top Broker, I am actively looking for leads in all of these states. But maybe it's 9 o'clock in the morning, right, Tamala, where you live, you're on the East Coast, and you're licensed in Arizona or in California, and it's too early to call over there yet, right? It's still only 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning over there. So I don't want to grab any leads in California right now. I get uncheck California, hit update, and now you're not looking for leads in California anymore. Make sense? Okay, so over here where it says HST leads, these are the leads that Healthcare Solutions team provides. And remember I told you we primarily just work with the exclusive leads, so that's why you're seeing these in here. So right now, within HST, everything is on a crediting system. Okay, every lead costs a certain amount of credits. So to start off, you guys all get 30 credits per day. Then as you get a little bit more comfortable, right, you get going through the system, then we increase this daily balance. So every morning when Tamala logs in, she's going to have access to 30 credits. HST exclusive leads are 15 credits each. And there are currently 43 of them sitting out there that people just requested our help within these states. Okay? HST aged exclusive leads are HST exclusive leads that are maybe a day old. There wasn't any agent that grabbed them, then they come in here for 0 credits. Doesn't happen very often, guys, but when it does, jump on them. Those are great leads. Okay, especially since they don't cost any credits towards your daily balance. And then we have HST aged leads, which then, you know, those are leads that you can just dial through if you need to fill calls in between your other stuff. There's 47,000 of those in the system. Okay. Then we come down to agency leads. These are the leads that I provide. All right. So next to every single one of these buckets is a little question mark to tell you what kind of leads these are. So team pool lead. These are new leads that are pulled due to grace period rules, which I'm going to talk about here in a little bit. Builder leads are leads that are between 1 and 30 days old. Exclusive leads that are between 1 and 30 days old that I can purchase from these different lead vendors that weren't able to sell it to another agency. Team fresh leads are uncontacted leads, people that have gone through the 12 call cycle and never answered, right? We never connected with, that are between 30 and 60 days old. And then team leads are more exclusive leads that are pulled due to grace period rules. Okay? To grab a lead, to simply just grab a lead, all Tamala needs to do, maybe she wants to grab one of these 43 exclusive leads out there. All she has to do is click on purchase lead. And here it is. Andrew Griffin from Trussville, Alabama. Okay, guys, this is a real lead. Andrew just requested our help today. Okay, if I look at the dashboard, you can see right here. I need to have a new lead, call number 1 to make to Andrew Griffin in Alabama. Okay, pretty easy, right? Now, Tamala did not pay anything for this lead. But that doesn't mean I didn't, right? That doesn't mean that these leads are free, right? I pay a lot of money to be able to give you guys these leads, so I want to make sure that they're being followed up with. So what we have is grace periods built into the system. Okay? What it's meant to do is to prevent agents from just grabbing a bunch of leads and never working them. So here's how the grace periods work, guys. It's really simple. Call number 1, right? You get 2 hours to make that phone call. All right? So if 2 hours from now, this is still sitting on Tamala's dashboard in new lead call number 1 status, right? This phone call is sitting here 2 hours from now. It's going to automatically be taken away, and it's going to get dropped into this bucket down here that says team pool leads. And another agent that is licensed in the state of Alabama will be able to grab that lead for 0 credits, for free. Okay? If I had it my way, this bucket's always empty, right? Because everybody's following up with the leads on time, but that doesn't always happen. So if you see leads in here, grab them. Does that make sense? You guys understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so call number 1, you get 2 hours to make, and in my opinion, if you can't make that call within 2 hours, you shouldn't have grabbed that lead in the first place. You grab them as you're ready to call them. And every call after that, calls 2 through 12, I give you 24 hours to make that call. Now, that doesn't mean you need to call the lead every 24 hours, right? That's not the way the program works. What it means is that you can't go more than 24 hours overdue on a phone call. It can't sit in red on your dashboard for more than 24 hours. So if you schedule a call for Tuesday at 2 o'clock, and if at Wednesday at 2 o'clock that call is still sitting there, that's when it gets taken away. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So basically, keep caught up, right? Don't go too far overdue on your phone calls. It's designed to reward the hardworking, aggressive agents and penalize the ones that aren't working. Okay? Okay, another thing in here. So Andrew Griffin, right? Tamala grabs that lead. Maybe she doesn't want to call that for whatever reason. Something popped up. She's got to get rid of it. You guys all have the ability to transfer to other agents within our team. This is something that I do all day long, and your leaders will do all day long. We buy leads and we hand them out to you guys, right? We just send you leads. So when I click on this box, it's going to show you the list of all the agents that I have that are licensed in the state of Alabama. It's only going to show you agents that are licensed in the state where the lead lives, so you don't accidentally send a lead to somebody that can't help them. Okay? But more importantly, what it shows me is if you're logged in or not. So you'll be able to see who's currently online If you were logged into Top Broker, you are going to show up as online in this dropdown. So guess who gets leads from me? The people that show up online, right? So I'm going to send this lead to Arelda because she's currently logged into Top Broker and working. I'm not going to send it to somebody that's not online because how do I know the next time they're going to log in is? Right? We're all spread out throughout the country. We work out of home offices. I want to make sure that this lead gets taken care of right away. So I'm going to send it to Arelda. I hit transfer. That lead is now out of Tamala's system, and Arelda just got that whisper window that popped up in front of her that says, hey, you got a brand new lead to call. Any questions on that stuff, guys?
Nope.
Okay, cool. Couple other things here, and then we'll wrap this up. Today's activity for my team, right? I told you we'd come back to this. These are your metrics. Okay? You have the ability to toggle between today, this week, and for the month. By default, it just goes to today. So here's how you read this. It's telling me right now that Tamala, for today, has had 7 actions. She's completed 7 actions. She sold 0 policies for a total of $0 in monthly premium. She has 0 overdue actions, so she doesn't have any red on her dashboard, which is good. She hasn't had any leads pulled due to grace period rules, which is good. But she is not currently online, okay? And that's because we're logged in on my computer right now. Okay, and this options where it says tasks, this would be more for a leader. You don't need to worry about that. It just shows you your dashboard. Okay, so this is a way to kind of track your activity. I want you guys to try to get this action count up to over 100 per day. All right, a full-time agent, you want to be getting your dials to 100 outbound phone calls a day. All right, and if you do that for 2 or 3 weeks, I promise you, you're going to get into a situation where you just can't make 100 dials a day anymore. You're going to be so busy with appointments and incoming phone calls that you just can't make that many outbound calls in a day, and that's the point, right? That's by design. That's what we're trying to accomplish. Okay. Up here, underneath the keyword search, right, we have something called bookmarks. So I've programmed in some different bookmarks from different key websites that I want you guys to all have access to. Right? If you want to look something up, you just click on the bookmark and it'll open up a new window with that website. But you also have the ability to create your own bookmarks. Right? You all are going to have your own custom links for some of the carriers. Like National General gives you guys all your own custom website for quoting and enrolling people. So my recommendation is you come in here and you create a bookmark, call it NatGen Quoting Website, and put on the URL so that no matter where you go, as long as you can log into Top Broker, you'll have access to all your quoting websites. Does that make sense? All right. Let's just see here. Email and text. You guys can create your own email templates. Right? Create new templates. Here's all the ones that are currently in the system. Create your own text message templates. Oh, sorry, text message templates. All right, that's all in there. Also under email and text, you guys have your email signature blocks that Becky sets up for you. All right, feel free to customize that if you want to. Let's see what else in here. The text inbox. This is showing you all the text messaging conversations that you've had. So there's that one before with Neil test. I can come back in here and I can see everything we've done. There's that quote sheet that Nathan received. Okay. One little tip here though, where it says text inbox, you notice it says the number 1. That does not mean that you have one unread text message. Where do unread text message notifications appear?
The top.
At the top of the screen in yellow, right? This is telling you that you have one text message conversation going. Okay, you have one conversation. When you're done with this conversation, you can just archive it. I hit archive. Now that goes to 0. That conversation is done. The history of all those text messages are still there. If you looked up Neil and Mary test, you'd see every single one of them. It's just not an active conversation. And the reason why you want to get in the habit, guys, of archiving your conversations, is this list is going to get incredibly long, right? Every time you get a text from a lead, it creates a new conversation, and that can get a little overwhelming. Okay. Last thing I'm going to touch on here, because we're right at that 2-hour mark, and then I'll let you guys get going, is the team standings. You guys see this right here where it says team standings? If you're motivated by leaderboards, you're going to love this section, right? If you're competitive that way, you'll love this. If that doesn't drive you, then you'll probably never look at it. But what we did is it breaks out all of our agents, all of your teammates in all the different categories of plans that we sell. Okay, and you can see how you stack up against the rest of your agency team members. Okay, so at any given point, you want to see who's the top dog right now with, say, fixed benefit plans. Right? We talked yesterday about how valuable these fixed benefit plans are. If I click on it, it's showing me here that Dale Broski just sold a dental plan. That's cool. All right, that Sean Bryson has sold 4 in the month of March. Tom has sold 20 year to date. So you guys can very quickly move up the ranks on these different categories. Right? You look at all categories. This is all policies. Dale sold a Manhattan Life fixed benefit plan too. So he just moved up on that list. Mark Lang has sold 56 applications so far this month. Nick has done 141 year to date. Okay, again, so if you guys like this kind of stuff, you want to see how you rank in the different categories, you'll probably look at it a lot. If not, you probably never look at it. I do run a lot of contests. I run bonuses off of those numbers. All right, so we have fun with it. All right, guys. Well, we're right at that 2-hour mark here. Those were the big things that I wanted to teach you here today within Top Broker. We've only scratched the surface on what this system will do for you. I want you to get in there. I want you to start playing with it. Grab leads. Put them through the process, right? If you don't know what something is, click on it. I promise you, you can't break it. I built the system. There is nothing I can't reverse, right? It's designed for you to beat it up. So, don't be afraid to start using it. With that being said, does anybody have any questions, anything you guys want to talk about? All right, everybody's good. As long as, and I'll leave you with this, as long as everyone has heard back from at least National General or United Healthcare, as long as you've been appointed with NatGen or United, I'm okay with you to get started grabbing leads and making phone calls, right? The rest of the contracts are going to start trickling in, but I don't want you to lose this momentum from the training, right? Let's get in there. Let's start calling some leads as you interview people, as you figure out what their situations are. I want you reaching out to me. I want you reaching out to the district partners, right? Let's talk about those situations. Let's put some quotes together and send them over to them, and let's start selling some policies. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right, perfect. All right, guys. Well, hey, again, thank you so much for your participation in this training. It really means a lot to me when you guys interact. I mean it when I say we're here for you. So thank you again, and we will all talk very soon. Okay?
All right.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Take care.